participants to come front. Namaste and very good afternoon. My name is Shyam. I look after the research project of AIDIA. Today I'm truly delighted to welcome His Excellency Mr. Bulat Sarsenbayev, the Ambassador of Kazakhstan to India. And we are truly delighted to have him in the Kathmandu. Now I request Mr. Sunil to come to the dais. I would like to request AIDIA's volunteer to come up with the flower and khada. Bye. Handing over this platform to the Sunil, let me just make a couple of points to just set the context. I can also see the Honorable former Minister of Education, Chitralekha Yadavji. Similarly, the ex-State Minister of the Drinking Water and Sanitation, and similarly Dr. Malla, former Member of Parliament, and then representative from the Nepal Chamber of Commerce, Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FNCCI, Confederation of Nepalese Industry, CNI, Pacific Asia Travel Association, representative from the PATA. I guess there is also the representation from the Handicap Association of Nepal, Trekking Agencies and Association of Nepal, TAN, and other distinguished business leaders and the representative from the different institutions including education and others. Let me just make a couple of points about the Kazakhstan. We know that the Kazakhstan is one of the largest landlocked country in the world, but the nature of the landlockedness between the Nepal and Kazakhstan may differ slightly. Kazakhstan, despite having the direct access to the sea, I guess there are two seas. One is west to the Kazakhstan, Caspian Sea, which is also regarded as the kind of enclosed water body. So that is the reason we technically call Kazakhstan as a landlocked country. And similarly, there is also the Aral Sea, which lies between the south part of the Kazakhstan and the north part of the Uzbekistan. I think I need to say there was an Aral Sea exactly, because I guess all of you has gone through the media report and news. Aral Sea, which has the water reserve around 100% in 1915 or so. Now it has only the 10 or 20% water resource available in the present context. So this is basically the, it is also regarded as one of the man-made ecological catastrophe, because the river serving to the Aral Sea was diverted from the irrigations, and that is the reason it is dropped out completely. So that Aral Sea, which used to serve as a transport of cargo from Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan, mostly it is not doing so now. Having said that, we also, I think, need to consider about the geographical positioning between the Kazakhstan and the Nepal. Nepal, which lies between the two giant India and China, and Kazakhstan at the same time, which shares the border with the Russia and then China and other European countries, and at the meantime India also somehow not physically touched with each other, but so geographical positioning between the Kazakhstan and Nepal has some kind of similarity. So how we can balance all those geographical positioning, maybe it is also interesting to hear or listen from the Kazakhstan. At the meantime, I guess I also need to give credit to His Excellency for formally initiating to establish a bilateral relation. As I go through the media report, he was here in Kathmandu in 2015 February, I guess. So at that particular time, he also talked with many government official over here in Nepal to establish the formal but diplomatic bilateral relations between these two countries. So from that initiative, we were able to establish the formal diplomatic relation in June 13, 2015. So we are in almost 3 years of the diplomatic relations. So but we are talking about the trade and investment opportunity in Kazakhstan. If we see the bilateral trade volume between the Nepal and Kazakhstan, it is really, really nominal, around 15,000 US dollar. And one of the maybe it may be the striking fact that the per capita income of the Kazakhstan is almost around 15,000 US dollar now. So I think the product we exported was woolen, carpet, and so on and so forth. So I guess this program is also got the very significant today because Kazakhstan is the place where Chinese President Xi Jinping has made his historic announcement about one of the largest infrastructure project of the world after the Marshall Plan, almost around $1 trillion. So it was first announced in one of the University of Kazakhstan, I guess. So hearing about the Kazakhstan experience about the Belt and Road Initiative would be also paramount to this moment because we know that next week Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is scheduled to visit the China. So to gain some insight from the Kazakhstan experience about the BRI would be also paramount to this moment. Similarly, as you know, Kazakhstan and then Nepal share the similar regional platform, which is called Shanghai Cooperation Organization, though even in different capacity. Kazakhstan is the full member of the founding member of the SU. Nepal is now as a participating in that organization as the observer state. Dialogue partner, as a dialogue partner. So there is also the kind of discourse going on about the Nepal participating in the SU as a full member capacity. And we know that last year India and Pakistan also joined the SU. So this may be one of the important area to explore our full membership, as there is China, Russia, India, and other states. So it may be one of the crucial areas to Nepal to think about getting full membership of SU, so that we also have that Kazakhstan is endowed with the very, very huge natural resources, which uranium reserve is regarded as the second largest reserve in the Kazakhstan, I guess, and then it has also the highest natural gas reserve among the Central Asian nations. So we can, if we are talking about the BRI project and China connectivity, all this stuff, then that can be also one of the area to think about. Similarly, I guess there are a couple of other areas that we can learn from the Kazakhstan. I just gone through the interview of Ambassador himself, and then he is sharing that they have been investing a lot to promote their education system. And then I came to know that they bought the experts from the Harvard and then all these huge universities to make the syllabus and all this stuff. So and then faculties are also coming from the international, so they are also doing pretty much in the education sector. And then if I'm not wrong, I guess Kazakhstan has the 100% literacy rate. Thank you. I guess having said that, this is just to put the context. There are so many areas that both countries can learn, maybe not only about the trade, other areas, experiencing and all those stuff. So having said that, I know you all are excited to hear about what His Excellency has to deliver. Now I'd like to request Mr. Sunil Kesiji, CEO of AIDIA, to take the event forward. Thank you.
First of all, let me welcome His Excellency Mr. Bulat, Sarsenbayev, the Ambassador of Kazakhstan to India. And let me tell you, 1 month back when I was in India, we had a very good understanding meeting with the Excellency at his office. We had a discussion from the history of the Buddhism to the Mongol culture, and from the economic engagement between the India and the Kazakhstan and also the Nepal. Then I extended him an invitation, why not to make a Nepal trip and why not to have more engagement with Nepal. His Excellency traveled for the first time in Nepal before the earthquake, that is in 2015. After that, His Excellency himself has provided around 200,000 US dollars for the earthquake victim people in Nepal, and His Excellency also had taken the initiative for the military cooperation between the Kazakhstan and Nepal, and he also came to Nepal and met in 2015. At that time, the Honorable Foreign Minister of Nepal, Mr. Mahendra Pandey, and he asked the vote for the United Nations Security Council. I think Nepal has given the vote to the Kazakhstan. That is the relationship we started from 2015, and this is his second visit, and he came here particularly in our invitation, and during the visit yesterday he met the mayor of the Plenipotentiary city and the business committee, and this morning he also had a meeting with the deputy mayor of the Kathmandu metropolitan city. Tomorrow he is going to visit the Plenipotentiary metropolitan city, and he is going to invite the 2-3 mayors from Nepal to attend the Astana, the global forum in Astana, the 20 years anniversary in Astana. And basically, the objective of my invitation to him in Nepal is to have more engagement in the people-to-people relation, and to start the air connectivity and the tourism cooperation. As we know that, and we have been using the SIM card that is called Yansel, that has been initiated for the first time by the Kazakh businessman in Nepal. That is how the Kazakh foreign direct investment came in Nepal since many years back, and right now the Yansel is one of the biggest company in Nepal. And few of the Kazakh people, they already climbed mountains. I think one of the climbers, he got dead during the earthquake. Then His Excellency had shown very keen interest to engage more with the Nepal, and he has been trying to present credential, I think, very soon. And so that, and again, he will be trying to open the permanent channel in Nepal to have some further business relation. That is how we got introduced each other, and we have been together for some business. And I'm very much pleased to have you here as a guest and to listen His Excellency and to interact more on how we can connect each other, because connectivity is a very important thing, and we are very much glad to have the former ministers, MPs and the business committee here with us. And now I think I will hand over my mic to His Excellency so that he will be delivering his remarks. Then we'll have one short video. Then we'll go into the interaction series. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming for this round table. I'm second time in Nepal, but you see that we are very friendly countries. Historically, we don't have any problem, political problem between us. We provide support to each other. As it is mentioned already, Kazakhstan now non-permanent member of the Security Council, and Nepal voted in our favor at that time. Regarding some common things, we are landlocked countries, and I'm a lawyer by profession, and I could say what landlocked countries mean. Landlocked country, those countries who don't have access to the ocean. Caspian Sea and Aral Sea, they are considered to be lakes because they are no connection to world ocean. Though Caspian Sea is very big, it's a huge. 5 countries around the Caspian Sea: Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkmenistan. Kazakhstan shore is the largest. We possess about 29% of the seashore, and we are the largest country. We possessing the largest part of the Caspian Sea. Aral Sea also a problem. It started during the Soviet time, but now we have actually two Aral Seas, and we call them Big Aral Sea and Small Aral Sea. Small Aral Sea in Kazakhstan, and together I remember that even with the participation of European Bank, EBRD, and some other organization, the Kazakh government, we built a dam there, and this sea is growing. We returned back some villages, some people to their places, back to their places, and a few years ago, we started already the production of fish there. The second part of Aral Sea is a big Aral Sea. Is not under our control totally, and it's not growing. This is just some remarks regarding this. And also, I'm very happy that we established relations in 2015. Comparatively, Kazakhstan is a new country. We became independent 27 years ago, and we used to be part of the Soviet Union. And in 1991, in December 16, we started our independence. And of course, the first years were very difficult for us. We went through many problems, through many difficulties, economic difficulties. It was a transitional period from the socialist system to open market economy system. Scientists, they call that period shock therapy, because for the people it was a shock to change from the socialist system to open market economy, and our target was only to make shorter this period, not to last long. And we managed in 2-3 years to go through. But some countries of the former Soviet Union still in that period. Already more than 25 years, 27 years, they are still in that period. Time to time they are in the period of transitional period. So I talked to my friend that many people, they consider that Kazakhstan is lucky because of the natural resources. Yes, we are rich of natural resources, we are lucky, but there are many examples in the world when countries with rich of natural resources, they are not rich in reality. In South America, in Africa, in Asia. That's why not only natural resources made Kazakhstan one of the most quick developing economies, but also governance, stability. We paid very much attention from the beginning for stability in our society, and during these 27 years, no problem, no big problems, no fights, no some other things. You know that in Kazakhstan, Kazakh people comprise only 70%, 30% different other people. In totally, we have about more than 100 nationalities in Kazakhstan of different confessions. We have Muslims, we have Christians, we have Jews, we have Buddhists in Kazakhstan. So that's why for the government from the beginning was very important to keep stability. And it was one of the main tasks of the government, targets. Then, education system. From the beginning, government started to support our students to study abroad. We sent and fully paid for 3,000 students every year. And the only condition was to be in the best university, like Harvard, Stanford, like Columbia University, like other, not only in China, in Europe, and so on. And now, after 25, 27 years, we started this program. Now we have ministers, we have deputy ministers, we have politicians, we have mayors, heads of the companies who went through this program. And now they are 45 years old, 50 years old. And this is the most active part of our society now. They speak several languages, they speak, they have knowledge, and they are already experienced people. Our government is very young. Of course, it's a combination of experience and youth, young generation, but still it's a very young government. We have ministers, 31 years old ministers in our government. That's why the secret of our development is not only natural resources, it's stability of the society, it's education of the people. As it was mentioned before, 100% of the population, it's a literacy is 100%, almost 100%. Also, we started to develop other industries. We had some classic industries like, you know, during the Soviet time, Kazakhstan was known mainly for agriculture and mining industry. Agriculture still, yes, we are among the 5th largest exporters of wheat in the world. And our wheat is a good quality hard wheat, which is only Canada could compete with us. And a little bit of that kind of wheat produce Russia and USA. But we are the among the 5th largest exporters. We're number 1 in producing wheat flour in the world. So our agriculture is still developing and supported by the government. Also, we started, apart to mining industry, we started to create other industries with highly added value. For example, we had a program of industrialization. Now, the second 5 years of that program. The first 5 years we completed, we created about 700 companies during that 5 years. For example, before we exported for the construction of the roads, we exported 100% bitumen from Russia or China. Now we have factories producing bitumen, and we don't import any bitumen from China or Russia. So to replace the import, that program was very simple. It was not targeting to bring out products on international market, but to reduce import in Kazakhstan. We reduced very much import of pharmaceutical products. 10 years ago it was 90% we imported. Now we import about 60%. So we reduced very much. That was the first part of the industrialization program. Second part, the 5th year, now we are already targeting to international market. For example, now we produce together with General Electrics, American General Electrics, we produce locomotives in Kazakhstan. The last generation locomotives. And we sell it already to some neighboring countries. For our needs, because Kazakhstan has a very vast territory, and that's why railway net is very big, very large, and very important industry for us. We now produce locomotives ourselves, we produce the wagons ourselves, we don't buy them from abroad. And even now we started to sell them, to export them to some other countries. We started to produce helicopters with French companies. And we also started to export these helicopters. It's not assembly, not only assembly. They are modified and according to our vision and so on. Even in the army, we started to produce many things for the army needs ourselves. The armored vehicles, 4 types of armored vehicles, some other things. Still we try. Of course, it's not easy to compete internationally because so many countries they already have a big experience and quality. But still, slowly we are trying to reduce import, to replace import by our own production, and to take some place on the international market too. GDP per capita now in Kazakhstan around $13,000. This is the highest GDP among the former Soviet Union countries, and the level of life is very high comparatively to the neighboring countries, and we have labor coming to us from neighboring countries like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. They come to Kazakhstan to work because officially it was announced about 1 million people registered working in Kazakhstan. But I think that you could triple it. It's a lot because we don't have visas, so they could cross easily the border. So no, that's why I think that more people work in Kazakhstan from other countries. So this is what Kazakhstan achieved within these 27 years. This time I came to Delhi, I came to Kathmandu with a special mission to invite the mayor of Kathmandu, the mayor of Lalitpur, the Minister of Finance to participate at the celebration and events which celebrating the 20th anniversary of Astana, new capital. Because 20 years ago we moved the capital to the new place, which is called now Astana, and this is one of the modern cities in the world. Part of them, it's a green city. We used many future energy approaches and so on. Last year we hosted the World Expo 2017, and that Expo had the title Future Energy. That's why more than 100 countries brought their experience in this future energy and their new approaches. And we accumulated them, and now we're trying to implement them in Kazakhstan, that experience. During this celebration, there will be some other international events. One of them is we are going to open Astana Financial Center, International Financial Center, which is a huge project with its stock exchange, with arbitration based on English law and English language. This will be the only place in this part of the world nation. It will be like in London, in Stockholm, the possibility even for the Nepal to come, if any cases, to solve the issues in arbitration, international arbitration in Astana. I think that it will be much closer and much not so expensive as to go to London, for example. And also stock exchange, already 4% of that stock exchange is bought by NASDAQ, it's American stock exchange. 7% bought by Shanghai Stock Exchange, and we are still holding the negotiations with other partners, potential partners to work in that area. For example, some Indian companies will go to participate to create a company, Astana Reinsurance Company, because still our companies go for reinsurance to Europe, which is very expensive, and we want to create our reinsurance system for our companies and for other companies who work in Kazakhstan, so to give a possibility for reinsurance to reinsure their business in Kazakhstan. And Indian companies agreed to participate, Indian reinsurance companies. Also, we work on some to create a laboratory, startups laboratory in Kazakhstan, together with some Indian companies. And also Nepal companies could be invited for such kind of event. That's why we are inviting, tomorrow I will have a meeting with the Minister of Finance. I want to invite him on behalf of the center to come to participate in that event. And also the second event, it's a global Silk Road. The mayor of Astana, he invites the mayors from different capitals of the world. And I think that it's also a good opportunity to Nepal to explore the possibility and Kazakhstan of bilateral cooperation. Very visible cooperation we could start very quickly in tourism, in education, in sport, culture. Kazakhstan is a sport country. Sport in Kazakhstan became a business. Just today it was announcement that in September our boxer Triple G, he will fight with Canelo finally, and if he will even lose the fight, he will get $43 million. So it's a big business, and our boxers is one of the best boxers in the world. We are very famous in boxing, wrestling, weightlifting, and shooting. Though we are a small country, last Olympic Games we took 11th place by medals. And Indian companies, Indian sportsmen, for example, they explore it very much. They go to Kazakhstan for any event to participate, to get the experience, to have good partners to get an experience from. So this is areas we could start with tourism. Already some Kazakh tourists coming to Nepal, our sportsmen coming to climb the Everest. Only at the end of the May, our sportsman, he climbed Everest second time. So if enough sufficient number of tourists, we could speak about opening the direct flight between our countries. So, but we should start and we should move. And I believe that if your mayors will participate in that event, they will find some partners in Kazakhstan, sister cities agreements, and they could start education, tourism, cultural, sport programs. You know that 2014, end of 2014, I came to India, and we used to issue 6,000 visas a year. Last year, in 3 years' time, we made it 20,000. Triple increase. The same from 8,000 from Kazakhstan, 20,000 now. Also increased almost 3 times. So that's why so many possibilities. And thank you to Mr. Sunil that he's supporting us on this way. And I think that is also already some part of our cooperation. I think that we have the same institutions in Kazakhstan. We could cooperate with them, and we will contact this institute of diplomacy to some relevant organization in Kazakhstan. And this is also part of the cooperation already. And we are going to soon to establish our honorary consulate. Also to follow up our projects, we want to find a very active businessman who could take this position and to follow up whatever we want to achieve. Also, we need to create a joint government committee which will annually meet in Kazakhstan or Nepal, and to summarize what is needed to make some recommendations to the government. If needed, to create some special working group, special working group on specific areas like tourism, education, sport, whatever will come out. So that's the reason why I'm here, and I hope that we will start. Last time I came, we signed agreement on establishing diplomatic relations. This time I will come, I think that we will do something more. And I want you to see a small film on Kazakhstan, just for you to understand about what country I am representing.
Kazakhstan, where history has been written on the wind-blown steppe and the future glitters in thousands of lights on the horizon. For Kazakhstan, the 9th largest country in the world, its past has surely informed the indomitable spirit it exhibits today. From the wild horses and endless steppe that symbolize nomadic freedom, to the rapidly growing infrastructure and vibrant cities the country knows now, Kazakhstan has evolved and adapted to become successful, stable and independent, not in spite of its history, but because of it. According to ancient writings, the Kazakhs were valiant and courageous.
During the Soviet rule, the country suffered some of its greatest losses. The Soviet nuclear weapons testing program conducted over a 40-year. The price in cancer, birth defects, death and disease, in a leading role on the issue of nuclear responsibility, advocating global nuclear authority. During its 550 years of established statehood history, the nation has experienced adversity and even atrocity, but it has prevailed. It has always prevailed. After centuries of political, any up-and-coming nation would do well to emulate. From the past comes a sense of purpose and a desire for progress and peace. On a clear day, there is no sky more blue. The mountains host a variety of adventurers in every season, from skiing, snowboarding and skating, to hiking, riding and camping. Kazakhstan offers something for everyone. As host of the 2011 Asian Winter Games, the nation declared itself as a... And infrastructure will grow even further when the country implements its new economic policy, Nuralizol, over the next 3 years, making Kazakhstan even more of a major land bridge in the heart of Eurasia. Astana, the sparkling, nascent capital of Kazakhstan, sits on the steppe as a concrete symbol of progress and innovation. High-rise buildings and green space mingle with the new but historically minded opera house and the presidential residence, the Accorda. Massive shopping malls rise up alongside the ultra-modern Peace and Harmony Palace pyramid. The vision of the country's president, Astana is fulfilling its promise as a progressive modern metropolis. The city is also home to Nazarbayev University. The importance of education to the country is reflected in its 99.7% literacy rate, one of the highest in the world. Almaty, about 1,300 kilometers to the south of Astana, is the banking and trade center of the country. Kazakhstan also boasts beautiful mosques, churches and synagogues that are representative of Kazakhstan's policy of religious and ethnic tolerance. In fact, Kazakhstan initiated and hosts triannual congresses of leaders of world and traditional religions, with the 5th one in 2015. The past and present meet on the grasslands, in the mountains, and now in the bustling cities. The stories and promises are whispered through the canyons as Kazakhstan continues to build a new Silk Road, an international center for trade and commerce, and a new legacy for the 21st century. Peace and harmony, however, don't just come with tolerance and cooperation. The people of the world must be fed body, mind and spirit. That's why, along with nuclear security, food, water and energy security are all top priorities for Kazakhstan. They constitute Kazakhstan's bid for its non-permanent membership in the United Nations Security Council for 2017-2018. The country promotes science and technology programs across the nation and around the world. In fact, in a few years' time, Kazakhstan will host an international specialized exhibition, Expo 2017, the theme of which is Future Energy. 2014 to 2024 has been designated as the UN Decade of Sustainable Energy for All. That's why Kazakhstan is opening doors to wind, solar and other alternative energy technologies, while also developing its massive petroleum, natural gas and mineral extraction industries. The miles of open steppe make the perfect solar and wind energy labs. Kazakhstan's Green Bridge Initiative, supported by the UN Rio +20 conference, is another important initiative being undertaken in Kazakhstan as the world's development assistance program. In fact, it has been more than 6 years since the country began providing assistance in the region and to Afghanistan. The prism of progress is a complex set of angles and lines that connect past to present and present to future. It reflects and refracts the ideals and ideas, values and actions that carry a nation forward, that coalesce into a clear vision for the future. For Kazakhstan, that vision has been hard-won through the ages. But the strife known by the people has also created a sense of shared responsibility, a sense of place and purpose and drive that inspire the nation to take its lessons beyond its borders to the world.
This film is a bit old. They're talking about Expo to be happened, but it's already happened. But in general, everything is the same.
Thank you for what's review. If you have any questions, you can ask questions to His Excellency so that we can have some fruitful discussion.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it was a very good presentation. And after going through the videos, we have come to know, especially me, what is Kazakhstan. And it seems that though the Excellency has not expressed what is GDP of our country, it looks from the video the GDP must be pretty high, and Kazakhstan must be in the rank of a developed country, not in the developing, I suppose. As Excellency has mentioned, previously it was a donation receiver country, and then now it is the donating country. I think there is a good probability of doing business in between Kazakhstan and Nepal, because Kazakhstan is also a country where you have plenty of minerals. Though we don't import raw minerals, but I assume you must be having the finishing plant for your minerals like steel, copper, and aluminum. I don't know whether you have it. Since Excellency has expressed that you have a lot of minerals, and some of these items could be a good, Nepal could be a good market for your mineral. And on top of that, looking into the video, the standard of living of your country looks very high, and we are the exporters of some of items for the people of a good economic country. Like we have a pasmina, we have a carpet, and on top of that, some of our herbal medicine could be a good market in the Kazakhstan. And Kazakhstan, as the Excellency has expressed, you have more than 100 ethnic people living in Kazakhstan. I'm pretty sure that quite a good numbers of Buddhists must be in your country.
Not too much, but about 1 or 2%, yes.
Only 1 or 2%. I thought because it is pretty close to China, and since we have more than 100 ethnic groups, I thought
China built a great wall to stop us.
A lot of Buddhists. If you would have good numbers of Buddhists, there could be a good market for our handicraft. Of course, for the handicraft, the religion is not necessary, but the most of our handicrafts are based on the religion, Buddhist religion. It would be much easier to do the marketing if the Buddhist community cities number is higher in the country. At the same time, I don't think that it will be difficult for us to do the marketing of our handicraft, but that it will be the quite potential for the carpet. It looks that your country is a pretty cold country, so carpet could be one of our good potential item to export in your country and also the Pacific. I think so. Apart from that, we'd like to know what kind of a mineral, the finished minerals you can supply to country like Nepal. Thank you.
99 elements of the chemical table. For example, you mentioned copper, we are number 3. Our reserves of copper number 3 in the world after Australia and Chile, I think. In some others we are number 1. Like uranium, number 2, but our production is number 1 in the world. And many others, so we produce steel. We have a steel factory which is the second largest in the world to produce steel. And many other items we have. But as I said, for us very important target not only to sell these mineral resources, but to sell already some products from these mineral resources, and we started this. First 5 years program devoted to reduce as much as possible the import for our raw needs. And that's why we created about 700 factories, plants. And now the next 5 years we are trying to come with some products on international market too, for our own needs and for international market too. You know that our country is a cold country. It depends, of course, the territory is so big. In the south it's south, in the west it's west, and in the north it's north. The temperature in the northeast of Kazakhstan sometimes in the night time comes to -60 in some areas. So that's why it's a very cold country in general. We have 4 seasons. Summer is very hot, up to 40 plus. It's a so-called very continental climate. Summer 40, winter is 42. So it's 80 degrees difference between summer and winter. We have a real summer, very hot summer, and we have very cold winter. This is, as you mentioned, yes, some goods from Nepal could be of interest to Kazakhstan. Though we also produce carpets, though we produce some other. We supply, we export to Russia, to China, Turkey, India. We export leather and wool, because we have a big production of leather and the wool. We are exporters of these products. So that's why maybe it could be some Nepalese businessmen, they could invest to start the production there, because the raw material is there in Kazakhstan. In India now it's a business, some small companies, they started to do copies, but with Kazakh design. Kazakh design is very, and they sell it to America. Not to Kazakhstan, but to America. Because very interesting design, very colorful design, and they sell Kazakh design. They do copies in India, but sell it to America. That's why it's different types of cooperation between us. But we need to start this cooperation. We need to start meeting each other on government level, on some other business level, and to find out what kind of businesses could be successful. Thank you.
Which port do you use and how far it is? Because from the viewpoint of a steel, as Excellency mentioned, you are the #2 manufacturer in the world, so you must be having the process planned. And we are in the steel, we import the billets. Now we are hunting for the billets from a third country. Normally we get from India only. At the moment we are thinking to get it from Iran, China, and hunting for some new country. So Kazakhstan could be a new supplier for Nepal. But the thing is that since this is also country like Nepal landlocked, which port you are using, and how far it is from major industrial cities of Kazakhstan.
You know that at the beginning it was one of the challenges for Kazakhstan because our ways to export our products, because we produce a lot. And for example, to India, our turnover reached about $1 billion last year. It was increased in 1 year, $300 million. Mainly export from Kazakhstan. Traditionally, we exported through Russia, everything. We have a very developed railway system. Now we export through China also, because there is a railway now go to China. Also, we have a pipeline, oil pipeline and gas pipeline going through Russia and now through China. Even some countries like Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, they're using our pipeline as a transit. Kazakhstan, though Kazakhstan is landlocked, but its situation is very strategic. Many routes go through us. So-called Silk Route also went through Kazakhstan in the past. That's why and now recently we completed the project together with the government of Turkmenistan and Iran. We built a railway from Kazakhstan to Bandar Abbas seaport. Now there is a line, 2-3 days, goods from Bandar Abbas could reach Kazakhstan. Now there are some technical things to finish, some common tariffs to get through from these 3 countries. And also we are now building the terminal in Bandar Abbas, Kazakh terminal. It's not only for Kazakhstan trade, but through Kazakhstan, because further this railway is connected to China and Russia and Europe and some other republics of countries of Central Asia. Chinese, they are very active. They already started to send trains from China to Bandar Abbas through Kazakhstan, and it's taking about 2 weeks only. For example, from central part of China to nearest Chinese seaport in the east, 2 weeks by railway, and then about 3 weeks shipping to that area. Now they could ship it by railway in 2 weeks' time. So this is very strategic. I think that when Bandar Abbas will start to work properly, Nepal could use this seaport in order to bring some goods to Nepal or through India. So it's we are going now to establish the same company, also joint venture between Kazakh National Railway Company and one of the big logistic companies in India to take goods from Bandar Abbas, from Kazakh terminal in Bandar Abbas, and to bring them to different parts of India, and it could be delivered to Nepal. So it's the way how we are planning to develop these connections. But it's, of course, it's a challenge to Kazakhstan. Now, but we used to have one direction, then 2, now we have 3 directions. We are working on it every time. So even we built a terminal in Chinese seaport in Pacific Ocean. There is a Kazakh terminal there to accumulate all the goods and to bring it to Kazakhstan or to China. The same we are going to do in Bandarabas and India. At least I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this. Also, there is the air connectivity. We now have 11 flights a week to Delhi. 7 from Almaty and 4 from Astana. The number of visitors increased. And some goods could be sent by plane. They are using this, also increasing the trade, because there are some expensive, valuable goods, they could be sent through by air. So this is another possibility to do this business. And as I said, if it will be sufficient number of tourists traveling between Nepal and Kazakhstan, our air company is ready to start flights. We have very good flights. Our company, for example, Air Astana, which flies to Delhi, national carrier, is rated already three or 4 years the best airline of Central Asia and India. Very good airline, very comfortable, with good service. 49% belong to British company. Not British Airways, but one big British consortium. They have 49% of that company. It's a joint venture also. Kazakhstan is very open to businesses, foreign businesses. It's very easy to create a company, to set up a company in Kazakhstan, foreign company. And from the moment of registration of this company in Kazakhstan, that company will enjoy all the rights of the Kazakh legal entity. So no differentiation, whether this company 100% owned by Kazakh people or by some foreigners. It doesn't matter. From that moment of registration, it's a Kazakh legal entity. Only one limit, it's not allowed to take the land for agricultural purposes. But other land could be taken to construct the factory, to construct the office, whatever. This is only the one limitation, not for agriculture. This is like that.
And Kazakhstan has established the formal diplomatic relations 3 years. So with the time passes, Nepal and Kazakhstan can cooperate in many areas. And I guess today's event also added some values in that prospect. So from myself and from our institution, I share very grateful thanks to Your Excellency for being here in this event. Now I'd like to request Mr. Sunil Ji, the CEO of AIDIA, to provide an honor with the token of love to His Excellency.
It's a Nepalese style, huh? We saw it everywhere in all hotels and all the restaurants. It's wood.